So guys, what do we think about this 50 million offer from Deontay Wilder to Anthony Joshua to fight? Well, there was a time limit on this. It was 24 hours, and there were no other details given to Eddie Hearn. And the deal came from Deontay Wilder himself, which is a bit odd considering Eddie Hearn sent an offer to Wilder's team, and Wilder's team did not send an offer back. It was Deontay Wilder himself. This strikes as a bit odd. Maybe Wilder's team didn't even know about it, and he just sent the offer. Again, this could be just a PR stunt, because who would send out a contract, or there's not even a contract for that matter, send out an offer, 50 million, to fight or not to fight? Where do they fight? Who walks second? Whose name goes first? All these little details, none of them have been sorted out. It was just a straight offer. That's what makes me think that this is a PR stunt. Now, Shelley Finkel has said he has given Joshua exactly what he wants, and he seems to be hanging on to Joshua's every word, which is a bit sly, I think. I mean, he strikes me as being a bit of a moron, really. He doesn't really want this fight. But then where's he going to go anyway? Wilder won't earn what he could earn against Joshua in his next 10 fights, if he's even got that many fights left in him. I mean, he might get chinned against Brazil, you don't know that. So, what's he doing? Why not fight now? And why put a time limit on that kind of offer? 24 hours, that's no time for Eddie Hearn to talk to Joshua, sort out all the details, and get back to them. It's just ridiculous. And they didn't have that meeting either that was supposed to take place on Friday. This makes me think that that offer was put in place to prevent that meeting from happening. I mean, look at it. Eddie Hearn didn't get back to them about that. Or maybe he did, about more details. But that now can be their excuse. Oh, we didn't meet Eddie Hearn because he didn't respond to our 50 million offer. So, the fight will not be going ahead, and we're going to deal with our mandatory, Dominic Brazil. But then again, who is that mandatory? It should be Dillian Whyte. Because the fight between Eric Molina and Dominic Brazil back in November was billed as a WBC eliminator to become the mandatory challenger. But Eddie Hearn was assured it was not, and that Dillian Whyte was number one after beating Lucas Browne. Now, they have recently stated that that was a final eliminator, and Brazil is now mandatory. Again, why is this happening? Because Dillian Whyte is in fact the mandatory. I mean, Eddie Hearn has now sent people to the WBC to discuss this. Hopefully, he will have to get in with Dillian Whyte. I mean, why the WBC backing Wilder? He should fight Dillian Whyte. That's his mandatory. Why not? He doesn't have to fight Dominic Brazil anyway yet. The mandatory has not been called. So fight Dillian Whyte. He could earn 5 million for that fight. More than he'll earn against Brazil. That would be double what he could earn against Brazil. If not more. I mean, I can't really understand Wilder's team, or Wilder for that matter, his thought process. Because he could earn 5 million fighting Dillian Whyte. He could earn 12.5 million fighting Joshua. Maybe more now. Eddie Hearn might go back and increase the offer. But instead, he'd rather earn 1.5 million maybe to fight Brazil. Maybe a little bit more. I mean, what's he going to do? Keep fighting guys like this and get to 50-0. And then retire and say, I'm the biggest, I'm the baddest. I am the baddest. I do hit the hardest. No, you don't. You're a terrible fighter. Because you're not fighting the best out there. The best out there are Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte. He won't get in with Tyson Fury either, I don't think. He's just going to fight his next 10 fights maybe, if he gets that far, and retire unbeaten as the WBC champion. And the WBC will back him for some reason. I don't know why. It's getting to the point now where I'm starting to lose interest in this fight almost. I mean, why doesn't Joshua just get on now and fight Povetkin? Povetkin's there. Povetkin wants to fight. So let's just do that, I think. That will be a good fight. Deontay Wilder isn't going to get in there with Joshua. He's too afraid, and his team are too scared to put him in that position. So like I said in my previous video, I reckon after he's shouting and bawling saying he wants Joshua, he pulls Shelley Finkel, or Shirley Winkle as Eddie Hearn calls him correctly, I think. I think he pulls Shirley Winkle aside and says, "Man, the hell you do. Do not put me in a ring with that man." That's probably what happens. Yeah, I reckon that happens. I mean, I'm not saying he's a wimp. Well, I kind of am. I mean, I wouldn't want to get in there with Joshua, but then I'm not in that position, am I? So, I'll leave it at that for today. Stay busy, guys.